What's up, guys? An underlying emphasis on this channel is that a total gym or sliding bench trainer is an excellent tool for bodybuilding, building lean body mass, or improving overall definition. Some of you guys have commented, maybe you guys have seen if you watch my channel for some time, how my physique has gradually changed through consistent use of utilizing a total gym as my sole form of resistance training. And even you guys have written to me and I've seen some pictures about how since you guys have switched, how much great your physique has changed for the better, even more so than when you were going to the gym. So I thought this would be a good time to kind of summarize some key tips and recommendations being a natural, you could say bodybuilder if you want to say that, utilizing a total gym or sliding bench trainer. And I'm only emphasizing the word natural in this video because I hear from a lot of you guys that either think if you're up in age or getting up in age like myself, that putting on some muscle definition is only possible unless you guys have some like extra compounds or some extra drugs kind of thrown in there. Or I hear from people that are just older and feel like they can't change their body because they're just too old and they don't have the hormones working in their favor. So in this video, I kind of wanted to show how there are a lot of things to kind of consider to really maximize your performance and your definition using this equipment. And guys, I just know too many people who once they start dabbling in the dark arts or some of this hormonal replacement therapy that's out there, I just know that once you go there, you're not coming back. And so it's a side mission of this channel to really promote natural ways through training, diet, lifestyle factors, and maybe in some supplementation to maximize your physical potential. And so in this video, I'm going to provide you guys some general tips up to this point in time. And I'm going to say general because this video can go on an hour plus, and this might evolve as time kind of progresses. But I'll talk about, again, the biggest takeaways I can give most people for diet, training, and also lifestyle factors to maximize results for building lean body tissue on a total gym. So you guys know if we're talking about body composition, building muscle, we got to talk about diet and lifestyle, and that could be a whole nother video in itself. A lot of you guys have been asking me to make more videos. I do want to. I'll do more of those in the future. So again, I'm going to make this kind of simplified. Nutrition is very specific. It's also something that's kind of a religion to some people. So everyone kind of has their own point of view on these things. Now, the first step I'm going to give just seems so obvious and so simple, but I think it's the most profound thing. It's the most profound thing for me personally. And even for people that want to lose weight, they still kind of lose sight of the idea that if they want to build muscle, put on lean body mass, they still have to eat adequate calories. Now, this is for sure true, and this is always a problem with people that are leaner. People have a hard time putting on muscle. You got to consume adequate calories. But even on the opposite end of the spectrum, as most people I think that watch this are older, maybe they want to lose a few more pounds. And I can identify with that. Myself, I kind of lost some weight, but I still kind of kept my calories still somewhat substantial. And so yes, you do want to create a caloric deficit, and I've kind of outlined some strategies in the future about some unique ways you can kind of work with kind of making yourself feel satiated and full, but still kind of being in a caloric deficit. But you're really gonna have a hard time building muscle if you're drastically cutting calories while you're trying to increase that workload. So if your goal is weight loss, you do have to reconcile with the fact that, yeah, you're gonna lose some body fat, but you're also gonna lose some muscle as well. And this is where it gets vitally important to make sure you're getting in, again, those nice solid macronutrients like protein, fats, and carbohydrates, but especially having those protein needs met. So for me personally, if I'm getting in at least 3 meals, there's like maybe a couple mid meals, like a snack, or even at night I'll have something, I'm trying to get in at least 25 to 30 grams of protein in each of those, and then I'll distribute the rest of that with some healthy fats and carbohydrates. Some people like to shoot and aim for like a gram per pound of body weight. I know for me, that's just sometimes harder to kind of really get to. So I definitely kind of do use and sometimes do encourage protein supplementation to make it just adequately easier to kind of hit those protein macronutrient goals. But for me, I don't stress about it too much. As long as I'm getting like 25 to 30 grams, sometimes more than that for sure, on certain meals, I feel satisfied, but I don't get too kind of anal about it. I just make sure I got adequate amounts and maybe kind of space them up throughout the day. And I know fasting is kind of a big thing for a lot of people. I've kind of mixed relationship with that. The only thing I'd kind of recommend if you're doing these total gym workouts to kind of emphasize muscle growth is to definitely not go in. If you're going to your training session fasted, let's say early in the morning, I think that's fine, but then just make sure that you're consuming your breakfast, especially those good protein goals, directly after that meal. Likewise, if you're going to be training in the evening, I think it's better to hit that training session as soon as you're done than just have your dinner. Those to me are really key, basic, but also fundamental things I think about with nutrition without getting too specific. Now I want to get into some of the specific training recommendations. All right, the first thing I want to say that I don't think I've been that explicit in other videos, but I think I've kind of hinted at it a little bit, is that feel free to kind of break traditional rules when you guys use a total gym or sliding bench trainer. When I say rules, I'm talking about those foundational things that maybe were taught to us through like a trainer, an online blog, or anything you kind of learned about building lean body tissue or muscle hypertrophy. And these are things like maybe do like 3 sets, do your heavy multi-joint exercises first, do your single joint exercises like bicep curls or arms, or like isolated shoulder exercises towards the end. Maybe stick to a rep range of like 8 to 12, 8 to 15. I think these things are really good. And I think these are all things that maybe we learned kind of going to the gym using traditional means of like, you know, benching and squatting and using dumbbells and racks and machines and stuff. I think that stuff's good, but I think things definitely change a little bit. And this is kind of what I personally learned when you start applying them to a sliding bench trainer. These total gyms are a lot less stressful on your ligaments, tendons, and joints. That I found that if compared to like the gym, if I was going to the gym just kind of pounding away at weights, I would feel exceptionally sore. My joints would feel a little more stiffer. With a total gym, I find that I can kind of break these rules of like doing things like a bicep curl or tricep exercises or doing single joint stuff at the front of the workout and then mixing it in, or even like putting the multi-joint stuff like chest presses and pulls towards the end of the workout. I can mix up all these things because I find they don't really hinder that other exercise, because one, I'm not going to be going that heavy on those multi-joint exercises. I'm not going super heavy on a press or pull, and all that combined really allows you to do a lot more volume than you're traditionally used to. So if I'm summing up something else, I would say that this machine can actually allow you to handle more volume and possibly a little more frequency throughout your week, and actually helping you guys build and develop more musculature. And so on to that next point, this is something I've said numerous times that it bears repeating, especially with the total gym and kind of feeling that tension and stress in the muscles, which I think is where this machine really shines, is to really keep that tension on the muscles. I sometimes say just kind of make sure you're feeling it in the desired muscle in that exercise you're doing. And notice I emphasize the muscles, not like your joints, tendons, and ligaments. So I think the total gym does a really good job at it. It's very forgiving on these things. That's why a lot of you guys have gravitated and stuck with a total gym or sliding bench trainer, is you don't feel that same kind of soreness and nagging, you know, stiffness in your joints than you did previously. You allow yourself to get a little more volume and stress that desired muscle, which is good. And you kind of have to do this a little bit with the total gym as you kind of progress with the machine, because, you know, as we know, you can't always add all this external weight. Some of you guys don't have external weight. Yes, there's resistance bands and stuff like that you can do, but you're forced to get a little more creative in how you stress your muscles through like supersets, slowing down the tempo and the rep speed. But what is cool about a total gym, you guys might even be seeing it in this video a little bit as we're doing like chest flies, I've been maximizing having my feet in the ground a lot more, and I'll probably make a separate video on this, but that's what's really cool about this machine. There's so many All right, this next section I want to talk about talks about really maximizing and understanding your personal genetics. First thing is just realizing it's going to take time to develop and grow your muscles, not just in general. People ask me, and it's like, well, how long did it take you to get where you were? How many years of training were you doing? And, you know, I've been training consistently since I was in high school, but my body's kind of changed up and down as I've fluctuated and tried different modalities. So yes, it takes time to just kind of build muscle and kind of keep it there, which I'll get to that point in a second. But also, you guys are seeing an evolution on this channel, seeing how my body's kind of changed as I've kind of stuck with the machine, tried some different things, experimented, kind of dialed things in a little bit. And I can speak for myself personally, just kind of looking in the mirror. I've definitely seen a lot more better positive results in these last recent months of kind of tweaking up things a little bit with some of these suggestions I'm recommending to you guys right here. So my point in saying that is, if you guys are just getting on the total gym, maybe you're using it for a year or so, point is give it some time, let your body kind of adjust to this style of working out, and definitely find what works for you. It's really hard for me to be super specific and give specific recommendations when I don't know you, I don't know your background, I don't know your preferences, I don't know what exercise you like and dislike or work for you. That's why I kind of have a shameless plug. That's why I have like the personalized coaching you guys can find on the website if you guys are interested in that. But that's why I have that, and that's why things kind of have to be a little bit generalized, because I can't make things specific for every single person. But there is no final set point. I've told a lot of you guys on my comments to you guys that once you get to where you're at and once you kind of dial things in, there's never an end point. It's at that point of like, how long does it take to get there, but then how long does it take to actually maintain that? So there's a lot of things that kind of go with this stuff, but the point is you can't obviously underestimate the point of just being consistent and sticking with it. And then more specifically, when you start talking about like your own personal genetics, you start to learn a lot more about like what things are you naturally predisposed to be better at versus weaker at. And I think a lot of you guys kind of do know that. And this starts to get a little more specific on how you guys want to work with the machine. But my chest is like kind of a weaker point for me. So that's something I know is a weaker spot for me genetically. And so that's something that I have to force myself to do a little bit more of, do a little more emphasis on. My back has been growing a lot more recently in recent months. And I think that has been a large part because I found some exercises, specifically just utilizing this machine, that I haven't gotten previous modes of working out, that really has met my back to allow myself to really grow. So really emphasize and cater your workouts on one, maybe your weak points and what your preferences are. It's kind of up to you. So if you feel like your weak point is your chest, or your butt or your legs, you want to get more out of that, definitely start with that first and make that a priority. But at the same time, if you just prefer to work certain body parts because you like them and you want to emphasize those, go ahead and do that. And then once you guys do discover like what your weak points are, or maybe where the total gym is lacking, this is why I picked up this vertical leg press, which I can link down below if you guys do want to support the channel and check it out. This was a great investment that I was kind of iffy on, but I knew my legs, while I can still work them really well in a total gym, a number of things, I wanted some compound multi-joint exercise to help me build my legs, I can kind of incorporate on my lower body days. So that to me was an investment. So search for those things that maybe you can help supplement with your total gym. And I briefly do want to touch on lifestyle factors. Even though you guys have maybe heard half these things, I do think it's vitally important to building lean muscle naturally. Right, first and foremost is sleep. We all know sleep's important. You guys all have heard like the magic number, like 7 to 9 hours, something like that. My point is, I think it's important, but I also didn't say I wouldn't stress out about it. I think it's important to like, yeah, get some decent hours of sleep, but I also know people that they stress so much about like the type of sleep they're getting and how many hours that's a stressor in itself. So sleep is definitely a huge key thing to make that a priority, you know, shutting things down at the end of the night and definitely kind of allowing your body to rest. 2, definitely getting outside, vitally important, not just for your mental health, like I said in the previous video, but also just from vitamin D. Total Gym is great because you can bring this thing outside. That's why in almost all my recent videos, for me personally, if I can, I'm gonna try and work out outside. These next 2 things have definitely helped me out with my training, just feeling more recovered and rested, ready for the next workout, but cutting out all kind of negativity, that can be from people, also entertainment. Entertainment's a big thing. Like I'm not wasting my time looking at, you know, just things that are not conducive to me. I don't like seeing a lot of stuff on social media because it just feeds into my brain, just negative stuff I don't want to see in a number of ways. So cutting out that kind of negativity, even specific people, I hate to say that, I just avoid kind of talking to just because they just put just bad emotions in me. And then even like bringing in the good. So trying to surround yourself with good people. I know it's cliched stuff, but also good entertainment. That's up to you to discern what that is. But I'm really trying to limit, especially with having kids, like what's coming into not just my own personal eyes, but also just my household. And I think it's really important too, guys, is just helping people. That's why I love doing this channel, honestly, so much. It's a mutual relationship. You guys help me, and I want to try and help you. So helping people in some way, whether it's service you do outside, locally, I think that's really important. I try and do that. And then very briefly, I talk about supplementation. I love sports nutrition. I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face. I present professionally at sport nutrition conferences. I love looking into sport nutrition, but with that being said, I think food and training is at the top of the pyramid. Sport nutrition, even though I like to kind of experiment with different things, it's kind of a minor thing. I know this personally into the overall scheme of things as far as building lean muscle, even naturally. But I do think it definitely plays a role. So I can do a whole nother video and I can talk about this personally of all the things, the different things I do take, but I think the foundations kind of need to be there. And I do have a great new affiliate that I think is one, I think it's great because I buy from them personally, have for many years. They already have the greatest deals on their website. Also, they're one of the best sellers even on Amazon, but you can actually save even better on their website and even on Amazon compared to that if you just go to the website bulksupplements.com and use the promo code SBT12OFF to save 12% off your order. So sorry, it's a shameless plug, but it's a supplement company I use consistently. I think they have the best deals, no frills, hype marketing. But I like that company a lot because that's where I just get like just basic bare bones stuff where if I want my creatine, my beta alanine, even beetroot powder, which I think is found to be really efficacious. Also things like whey proteins, another staple, but a lot of staples that I can use, even collagen, I can talk about that later a little bit, but best prices I think on all those things. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like whey protein is like just getting really expensive. Other than this website, the best place I find whey protein, if it's not an exotic flavorful one like I get from Tiger Fitness, Costco I think has the best prices currently for like a flavored whey protein. It's high quality. Otherwise, I think Bulk Supplements is the best kind of like non-flavored, cheapest price in whey protein, especially if you get like in bulk. But definitely my top 2 supplements that I would use and recommend consistently no matter what, 9 times out of 10 is going to be a creatine monohydrate supplement. I only put in about like 2 grams or so, just a little bit in my morning coffee. And then also a protein supplement, which again, it isn't totally necessary. I just find it's more cost effective and easier way to kind of add some extra protein into my diet. All right, guys, so that's really it. Again, I tried to make this really kind of somewhat generalized, so it's going to apply to mass amounts of people and give you guys the biggest take-home message I could without knowing you guys individually. I certainly can and definitely probably will make some specific videos on some of these topics that I got into. If there is something specific you guys do want to see me talk about, definitely let me know down in the description box. And definitely feel free to share your comments, what have worked for you as far as seeing results, building lean body tissue on a total gym or starting bench trainer. But as always, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.